Hi there, and today I'm looking at what looks to be the best city space set yet, which is coming out in January 2025, which is also going to have new designs of space minifigures. Now, we've had a huge amount of LEGO space sets in 2024, and space was a sub-theme across many of the LEGO themes, not just City, but Friends, Creator, Technic and others, even Duplo. And all of the City space sets were exceptionally cool. There were two planet-based rovers, the Explorer rover and also the Command rover, and both of these looked excellent and had great articulation and suspension on their wheels. On the planet's surface we had two different structures. We had the Space Base and the Rocket Launch Pad, and the Space Science Lab. Now, the Space Science Lab came along a little bit later. That came out in June 2024, whereas all the other space sets came out on the 1st of January. Now, both these planet surface bases shared a universal airlock so that they could be connected together. And that airlock was also a feature on the Modular Space Station, so that any of the pods from the space station could be connected to the base on the planet's surface, or even connected to the rocket from the Rocket Launch Pad set. But what I think is the best looking and the most interesting set of the City Space theme is actually going to be released in January 2025. And this set is the exceptionally cool looking Modular Galactic Spaceship. Now, this is going to be set 60446, it's going to have 717 pieces, and it's going to cost £70 or $80 or €80. And just from the initial image, I think this spacecraft looks really good. In 2024 we got 3 spacecraft, but they were all fairly small. We had the mini interstellar spaceship, which was a really nice delta shape. We had the 4+ spaceship, which was pretty basic looking, being a 4+ set, and it also wasn't the prettiest looking of spacecrafts, looking fairly short and stubby and not very sleek. And then lastly, we also had the rocket from the launch pad set, which was a functional cargo ship and was used to take pods from the planet's surface base up to the modular space station. Now, this new ship isn't quite as sleek as the interstellar ship from this year, but starting at the front, it's got a really nicely designed front end, and the cockpit is also wide enough to seat 2 pilots side by side. Then as we move back, we get to the first of those universal airlock joints, which is connecting the front of the ship to one of those pods, which is found in the modular space station and also found on the rocket launch pads. But behind that, we then get what I think is the most interesting part of the set, which is a much larger habitation pod with a domed transparent roof and transparent curved walls. This all looks to be in the new transparent black colour, which I think will automatically give it a bit of a sleek and elegant look. Inside this habitation pod we can see some food growing, there's some pizza being rehydrated, and either a sleep bunk or a medical bed. But remembering that the set is called the Modular Galactic Spaceship, we can see that from the back of the box that all these different parts can be detached from each other. The first pod can obviously be fitted to the modular space station or the rocket from the rocket launch pad set, or both parts can be left on the planet's surface as another smaller base for our astronauts to work from. Or, because of that universal airlock, they can even be attached to the other bases from this year. The wings that were taken off the habitation pod can then be reattached to the front of the spacecraft, giving it another totally different, sleeker look. The back of the box shows us a great image of those 2 pods being left on an asteroid of some kind, and it's really cool that the designers decided to show it upside down. But as well as a really cool looking spaceship, this set is going to give us some new variations of the City astronaut. This year all the astronauts shared the same printed torso, but had different coloured arms and matching coloured helmets to denote their job. The dark azure and dark blue ones seem to be the vehicle pilots, the yellow ones seem to be doing the construction work, while the green ones were the explorers or the scientists. But in this new set, as well as one of the dark azure astronauts from this year, we'll also be getting 3 new astronauts with completely different torsos. Now, these new torsos have white as their base colour, as the astronauts did this year, but they also have this new diagonal stripe across them, with one side filled in with their designated colour. We're getting 1 blue pilot, 1 yellow construction, and 1 green scientist. They each have a matching coloured arm on the coloured side of the torso and a black arm on the other side. Now, these new uniforms are very reminiscent of the Futuron classic space minifigs from 1987, and I think it's really cool that LEGO have done a tribute to this theme, remembering that all of these astronauts from both 2024 and 2025 also have a mini classic space logo on the top corner of their uniforms. So it's nice to know that classic space lives on in some form. If you're interested in LEGO classic space, why not check out my video on all 12 colours of classic LEGO space minifigures. Now, this this Modular Galactic Spaceship is definitely going to be a set that I'm going to be buying very early on in 2025. It's great that LEGO are tying it in with all the sets from 2024, giving it that universal airlock so various different elements can all fit together. And it's also great that they're building on the theme of those astronaut spacesuits and giving us some new designs. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this set and of course the new Star Space minifigures. If you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up, it really helps me out. And of course, please subscribe for more LEGO videos.